Yeah, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you're watching this video. I hope you guys watched the video I sent yesterday. If you haven't watched it, I'll make sure you watch the video again. And if you have any question, we'll be answering question today, during the live session. Right, this after watching this video, make sure you bring your question. Today is going to be asking of questions and so on. Right, so now we are getting a bit more technical. I believe you've grabbed the concept of fundamental analysis when it comes to forex trading. So today we'll focus more on the tools I mentioned. Remember yesterday I spoke about you using Tradingview. This is where you're going to be doing your analysis, and it's very important you know how to use this particular tool, right? So today I'm going to start with Tradingview. Yes, so with Tradingview, yeah, this is how TradingView basically works. So when you open the application, it's a web application which you're going to be using. You have the mobile version as well. On the web application, the key tools you need to know here is that firstly when you get into the application, this is what you're going to see something similar like this, right? So let me start from my left where you have A. So A here you see ABFX underscore official. This is where if you are not signed in, you need to sign in. So you sign in means you'll be able to save your chat. So each time if you're doing an analysis, each time you come back to the chat, you'll be able to see it, right? So this is basically what you have to do here. You just sign in, create an account with your email address. And here you have dark mode. You can either change into dark mode or depend on how you want it to look like from your end, or change it to the bright mode. This is what I'm currently using right now. Right. So next thing is the tools and how to add features or add currency pairs. So if you come to this site, you see we have what we call the watch list. So if I put this drop down, is that you can create a watch list of specific pairs you wish you want to monitor, right? And the next is a plus sign. Though this plus sign here is for you to add symbols. So when you come to add symbols here, you have here stocks where you can actually add stocks, you can add funds. But if you want to add a particular instrument but you don't know which instrument it is, right? You just come to all and you search. For example, if you want to add, let's say, Nasdaq, right? I search for Nasdaq, that's 100 or something like that. Because of my internet, you can't really see that. But we want to do that, it will appear here and you'll be able to choose, right? So next, you have after you being able to add a pairs. So these are the pairs I've added already. And next here, what you have here is if you want to have a better clear view, you can always open this way and you can always close this way. Right. So this how it works if you want to have a clearer view. Now the next important thing here is for you how to do analysis on TradingView, right? So now you have what these tools here. Here is what we call the tools we are using. You'll notice that I don't use most of these tools here because I have already customized and put them somewhere here. I'm just trying to show you the most important things that you need, but with time as you go ahead, you'll be able to navigate yourself over it. Now, let's start with the tools. Before I even go to the tools, look at the top here. You notice that I'm on GBP JPY, right? GBP JPY, where my name is. You'll notice you'll have GBP JPY, and the next thing you have what we call the time frame analysis, right? Because if you want to do an analysis, you do it on a particular time frame. You don't just do it haphazardly. As a day trader, for example, you start the analysis on the daily time frame. So if I go to the daily time frame, what I'll be seeing here is this is what I would say means each candle here represent a day. Right, I'll explain to you guys how the candles works and how to explain the open and the closing of the candle. But first, know that this is what you're going to see. Each candle here represent a day, and when I go to a 4 hour time frame, it means that each candle you see here represents 4 hour. Right, that's how it works. Each candle here was formed means that each candle here took 4 hours to be formed, and if you go to a daily time frame, each candle here took one day to be formed, 1 hour time frame as well. 15 minutes as well, but this is just where you select the time frame in which you want to do your analysis. Now and here we still we are using the candlestick, right? Candlesticks is another way of you representing price movement, just like you could use a bar chart. But now you can use anything you choose to. Like if I choose to use a column chart, I'll have it like that. But how are you able to going to do your analysis with this? There are people who are able to do this, but will prefer using the candlestick. or using the line chart. This is preferable, right? I've never used a bar chart before. You can also use a column. Depends on you what you want to use. You could use area and so on. But will you be able to do your analysis with this thing? That is what is important there. So we always use the candlestick, and I'll explain how this candlesticks works. Right? This is a time frame analysis. Now, the next thing you have here is how to draw a trend line, right? So notice that the first thing here after this plus sign, the cross sign, if you click on this arrow, you see in the things you can use from here. If you need a dot to use, if you need an arrow, if you need an eraser, and if you click here on this trend, this first one, you still have what we call a trend line. So a trend line, if you want to draw a trend line from a point to another point, so I've taken the trend line, you can see it's highlighted. I'll click here and I'll hold. You just click, you hold, and you drag, right? So you see it's white, you customize it to black, and so on. That's the trend line I've drawn, right? Just like that, and you have here an arrow. If you want to do an arrow, always do it like that as well. You can see just like it's white, you customize it to black, right? So these are just tools you can use in doing analysis. Horizontal line to draw your support and resistance, for example. You can put it like this, yes. You can pick vertical line if you want to use a vertical line and so on. Yeah, these are just tools you'll be using. You just need to know where to get them and how to get them. That's important, right? So yeah, I think those are the most important things you will need to use here. So yeah, the trend line, the arrow, and the horizontal line for your support and resistance. Next thing you have what we call here the Fibonacci. Fibonacci is just a tool used to measure corrections in the market when after an impulsive move, which is what I'm going to explain later on. So because I'm trying to explain for you to know where to get it before I start explaining. So when I'm doing it, you know how to navigate yourself through the platform, where to get it. So you won't be confused when I'm explaining Fibonacci. I don't know where it is found. So this is a Fibonacci. Once you pick it here, you can put it where you want to put it, and you click, you hold, and you drag. So let me take Fib. I think because of my internet, you can't really see it clearly. Yeah, so I was trying to explain Fibonacci. I just had to pause the video because the internet was interrupted. So I was talking about the Fibonacci where you take it here, the second one. So you come here, you get a Fibonacci, you just place it where you need to place it. I'll tell you how to place it, but this is just a Fibonacci. You just put it like this, and that's it. That's the Fibonacci. So the next tool you have here is the only tool you need to use here is the Fibonacci based on what I'm going to teach you how to trade, right? The Fibonacci. So the next tool we have here is what the drawing board. This is just a brush. If you want to draw something, you want to highlight something to someone. Yeah. So the next thing we have here is a rectangle. Very important to always align your resistance and your support zones, right? Something like this, right? You need to know how to use this tool. And the next tool we have here, I think is necessary is a cycle, the path. Most of these things you will need to use them. It depends on you if you want to use them and so on and so forth, right? But you need to know where they are found. That's just my point. You need to know where they are found. So to wipe this, so the next thing you have here is a text, right? So if you want to use a text, if you want to call out a trade and so on, you get them here. And the other thing you have here is now a very important part. So take note of this one. This is where if you want to get into a trade and you don't know how to calculate your stop loss and your take profit, right? Let's say for example, I want to take a buy trade here. I was about to take this buy trade and I'll come here. You will see these two. You have long position and short position, right? So if I'm going for a buy which is long, I'll definitely place it here. And now what you see here is just like the color, the modification I've done. So always know that okay, yes, if I put this like this, the one below here is your stop loss. The default one you will always get is in red. But I just decided to use this color, right? And the one above is your take profit. You see you have here target. So how do you read this? You see target and you have here 77.5 means 77 pips, right? And you have here stop. You have stop. This is your stop loss. If you get hit, the trading go into your direction, right? You have here 16.8 pips stop loss, right? This is what helps you just to measure your stop loss and to manage your risks in a particular position you've taken. And you see the ratio of this particular risk to reward here is what 4:1, right? 4.61. So you see that you're actually risking 16 to get 77. Right, this is how you actually measure um your manage your risk, measure the position you're entering into. And if you want to take a short position, you just come to short tool. Let's say I want to sell from here and I put it like this. You see, when you're going for a short or for a sell, definitely you do it like this, you show it to your target and you just wait for it to keep moving, and this helps you to manage your position. You can always know at any point in time how much you're making, how much you're going to lose before you get into a trade. So you have here 11.1 pips and have here having 90 pips, and the risk reward is 80 point something. Someone will do this trade at this particular position, right? So that's how you use this tool. So the next thing I think is important for you here is what the price range. You can also use this if you don't want to use those tools to measure your price range from one distance to another. So you see you have here 90 pips. The same thing as you're using the tool, you have noticed that it's still 90 pips, right? So that's how you basically use this tool. So I think these are the most important tools I want you guys to familiarize yourself with. So I will do a recap here. So the first thing I showed you is when you come in, first thing, what do? You sign in. You sign in here. You just come here, you sign in your your Gmail. So it's a web application. You don't need to download anything. Just go to the web, type tradingview.com and you sign in. Next, you choose, you add your currency pairs here on this plus sign. You add a currency pair you want to trade. Let's say you want to trade euro, USD, and you just come to just like you see as came. Then you click on it. If you want to add GBP, something GBP, euro, USD, something like that, like it comes and you just click. That's what you're going to do. And then we now have them here. The next thing you have to choose a time frame in which you are analyzing, and the time frame is being found at the top here. So you click here, you see different time frames, right? Different time frame. I will teach you the time frame analysis, how to use time frame to actually which time frame to analyze on later, but this is where you get the time frame. Right. The next thing is for you now. Where do you want to draw a trend line and so on? You come here at this side of the this side of the chart. You get this tool. So if you click here, you see you have the trend line, which you can take and you can draw a trend line on your chart. Right. The next tool we have here is the horizontal line to draw your support and resistance, which I said you can always use draw your support and resistance, which I'll be talking about the next videos ahead. Then you have the arrow here and so on. These are the tools you can always use to do your analysis. And you have here what the Fibonacci, which we are going to be using over and over again, right? And we'll have now the part, draw your part, and the rectangle tool and the brush tool here. So this is all we need here on this on TradingView. And one last thing, if you have done your analysis and you want to take, for example, a screenshot and send to me or something, like you could always, if you don't want to use your phone, you could always come to where you see this camera. You just click on camera, you take a screenshot, then you take a snapshot and just copy it in your browser where you can go and paste for anyone to see. Right, this is how it is. So I don't think I'm missing out on anything here. So yeah, I think when you do more practicals, you get to understand how the trading view actually works. The more you work on it, the more you get to know how to customize. But I've shown you the basics, but as we'll be doing technical analysis, you get to pick more things as you go ahead. Yes. Bear in mind, whatever thing I've shown you, if you use your phone, you're going to see all of these things I'm saying as well. But if you have any challenge, reach out to me. Yeah, but as I've shown you this, open your laptop, try to practice, practice, practice. So when I'm going on live, when I'm using my screen to do any analysis, you understand what I'm already showing you. Yeah. See you in the next video.